What the hell did I just watch? Hello you beautiful creatures, how the devil are you? I hope you're okay. If you're new to this channel, my name is Lou, or Lucifer as my friends like to call me. By my friends I mean my Instagram account. Guys, honestly, I literally just had to do this video. I know, I've only just started doing reviews on TV series and whatnot, but I did also promise you guys that I would be doing horror film reviews. And well, what's the best horror film to start with? Well, kind of horror film. I would say Spree. Yeah. I just watched Spree and honestly I am such a ball of anxiety right now. I absolutely loved it. It does say that it came out in 2020, but I have only just noticed it being advertised, so I don't know if it was out in America before it was out over here, so you guys will have to let me know. Also, I haven't been up to date with Netflix recently. This is an issue, but we will rectify that. As we go through, I will start to review more horror movies, which is super exciting because that's what I love. Also, I have a confession to make. Whilst I might be looking fly up here with my Evil Dead t-shirt, the choker, the horns, unfortunately, it doesn't follow through. This is what's happening down below, guys. I am so sorry, but I'm really cozy right now and I know you will forgive me. So let's start talking about Spree. Well, honestly, what can I say? Joe Keery is the most terrifying person I have ever seen performing in a film. That's a bit of an over-exaggeration. Obviously, that's not the case. However, the fact that we're so used to seeing him in things like Stranger Things, where he's wearing a sailor outfit and he's working in an ice cream parlor, to this is absolutely terrifying. He plays the character of Kurt and he is a up-and-coming YouTuber, much like myself. Unfortunately for Kurt, he can't get more views than view numbers like in double figures. He can't get into triple figures, and I found myself yelling at the screen, just do an unboxing. Just do a haul video. Hon, literally all you have to do is a haul video. You got this. All of my haul videos are in the triple figures. My charity work, anything that's got, you know, a lot of meaning to me. Unfortunately, because I haven't got a massive following, it doesn't go into triple figures, you know what I mean? And I really love the idea that the film plays on that. You've got this poor boy who's just so desperate and you see how much work he's putting into it. So you see life plans, you see gaming, you see all the tropes that we're so used to and all the tropes that are so overdone and so popular. But the problem is, because he hasn't really found himself as a presenter yet, he hasn't found the kind of energy, the vibe he's giving off, well, it doesn't really work out for himself. And honestly, the fact that his friend is an all-time he's like a YouTube sensation, but it's the guy from Vine. I can't remember what his name is, but I will pop a picture up now. You know exactly who he is. As soon as we watched it, we were just like, my God, it's the guy. So what does he do? He starts this Spree. He uses this app called Spree, which I thought was really interesting because it only clicked in that Spree, killing Spree. I am an idiot, you know this. He starts using a thing called Spree, which is kind of like Uber. And basically what you do is you write down that you're a driver. People can basically book your car out to go to different places. And that's what he does. But he goes from 0 to 100 in no time at all. But he doesn't at the same time. So at the beginning of the film, you kind of see the struggle that he's going through, the absolute struggle just to get a foot in the door. And like I said, he tries all of these things and none of them work. And he is ridiculed by his supposed friend. And it's awful. I really do feel for him. But then he comes up with this idea called the lesson, and he basically fills up water bottles for his passengers to drink, and they are laced with poison. Yeah. So the fact that it went from like 0 to 100 in no time at all, that's the kind of idea I'm working with. And it's not enough. It's not enough. Like, you've literally got this guy, he's wired out his entire car with cameras, he's killing these people, and it's not enough. And that's where it gets disturbing. It's nothing to do with the physical gore, it's this horrible mentality that it's not enough. It is not enough. And I have followed this idea for so long throughout my life. When I was at university, I was talking about scare acting, and people go through these experiences, like these scare experiences, because they want to feel that adrenaline. Well, what happens when you do these experiences and you don't feel that adrenaline anymore? What happens when you go on to extreme haunts like McCaney Manor? If you know what that is, you know. If you don't, I will chat about it at some point. This just isn't the video to do so. So essentially, you've got all these desensitized people watching, and they don't care, and it is absolutely terrifying. It goes on borderline, well, no, it doesn't go on borderline, it is snuff. It is essentially snuff films. And if you don't know what snuff films are, they are essentially videos. They have a really horrible nature to them. I don't really want to say the words because they're not very nice, but people end up dying in them, and people watch and they pay. More often than not, you can find these things on the dark web. I did have to do research about it for my university dissertation. No, I didn't go on the dark web. I am so terrified of the notion of the dark web. But I've researched about it, and it was really, really bad. Really bad, guys. Honestly, it's not worth it. It's really not worth it. If you're really interested in that kind of stuff, just stop now, because it's dark. But essentially that's what this film is all about. So it's about this guy who's going around, and he's going after the next big thing. He kills people in more graphic kind of ways, and it's still not enough. And we also have this other character, and her name is Jessie Adams. She's played by, now if I get her name wrong, I am so sorry. I am literally an idiot. Her name is Sashir Zamata, I think that's right. And she plays a YouTuber, Instagrammer, influencer who has got the biggest following ever. She's also a stand-up comedian, and I really enjoyed that because, if you know, I've been a stand-up comedian myself. I've performed at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, I've done this, that and the other. And honest to God, the way it's portrayed, 100% yes, I am living for it. You know, her life is just dictated by social media. Like, she never puts her phone down, and I think that's really interesting in the whole film. Most of the time, the main characters never put their phones down, and that's why it's so interesting, why it's filmed the way it is. So most of the action is filmed in Kurt's car, and he's got GoPros wired all around the car, and then he's got his phone as a live feed as well, and that is the only way you can see what's going on in the entire film. And I, honest to God, think that's fantastic, because basically the viewer is dependent on those cameras to be able to see the reaction, to see what's going on. And I think it plays on the fact of fear of missing out, FOMO. You know, when you see live feeds of your favourite celebrities or your friends or this, that and the other, and you've got to go and, I don't know, make some tea. Let's go with that. I'm British, I like tea. You go and make some tea. You've got to put that live feed down, and suddenly you're not a part of that anymore. And I really, really enjoy that. I'm so sorry. I used to do media studies as well, so that's why I'm really freaking out about this. But the point is these two characters meet. So you've got this YouTuber who's just starting out with this other YouTuber, this influencer who has got the biggest following, and she even admits it to herself. You know, there's a very poignant moment in the film where she says she was desperate for validation, she was desperate for all those views and those subscribers, and now she's got it. It freaks her out because everybody is watching you, and that really hits with Kurt. But building up to that moment, Kurt fixates on this poor woman, and it's it was, honestly, it was really disturbing to watch. If you haven't watched it and you've started watching this and you didn't want spoilers, one, I am really sorry, but I haven't spoiled the ending, so if you want to watch it, I fully recommend going to watch it. It really plays on that anxiety as a new YouTuber, and I think that's why it hit really heavy with me. Some people I know, they commented on my Facebook saying they didn't enjoy it. Fair enough, that's fine. I enjoyed it, but it really disturbed me at the same time, and that's simply because I'm a new YouTuber, you know, and as a new YouTuber, you do have those anxieties where you're like, oh my god, people don't like me, they hate my content. You know, the charity work I've been doing, so that's a really poignant thing for me. That means a lot to me. But the fact that the views for my charity work compared to the views for my whole videos are two completely different things. My whole videos are in the triple figures for views. My charity work isn't. It will be lucky if it hits double figures. Do you get where I'm coming from? And this film really plays on that. It really plays on that, and that's what I like and that's what I hate at the same time. It's also the fact of racking your brain and being like, what do people want to see? You know, now that I'm in this, I can totally say with utter honesty that every single YouTuber probably goes through this, probably gets to a point where they hit that big wall of, I don't know what else to do, I don't know what people want from me. So they start doing more extreme things, they start doing more controversial things. I have heard so many videos and so many things about certain YouTubers. I can't remember their names and I don't want to bring it up because that's not what this channel is here for. It's just an example. They have done really controversial stories, they've told really controversial stories, they've done really controversial things, they've made controversial things, and honestly, it's just for the views, it's just for the validation that people are aware that we exist and are obsessed with what we do, and they feed off what we do and what we give to them. But you feed them so much and then you've got nothing left and you're like, ah! Do you get what I mean? So I really liked that whole thing. I also really liked the fact that, again, it was a lot like, now I can't remember what the game was called, but does anybody remember that game where you played an investigator and you had to search through the dark web, and you had to be really careful which bits you searched through because certain serial killers would come and get you, but it was to save this girl and you were like an investigator? I got those vibes so heavy, like the format of the screen. So it's like this if you watch me now, but obviously not in this dimension, it's in portrait mode, and you've got the chat going up at the side like you do in a live stream. You've got all the comments going up as well. And the thing that really scared me, and it was the same in that game and it's the same in anything to do with the dark web and live streams, some people weren't taking it seriously, some people thought it was fake. Like this guy literally goes to, his friend's place and blows his brains out and just completely ransacks his home and acts like everything is fine. It's not fine. And everyone just doesn't react. They do not react. And if they do, it's literally a case of they're just commenting saying this is disgusting, and that's it. They're not calling the police. They're not letting anyone know what's going on. They're not pushing further to see what this whole thing is about. They're literally just commenting. And honestly, and this is a lesson I've learned, people who sit by idly are just as bad as people who are doing things. I've had to learn that lesson very recently, but it plays into a lot of things. And the fact it was a case of people were enjoying it and people were purposely poking him to do more, it was horrible. There was a specific comment that says, "Oh, this is very, very gothic." I resent that. No, it wasn't. And there was another comment that said the blood splatter was really pretty in one of the scenes, and it just goes to show the kind of people that were watching this. Do you know what I mean? Obviously it's like a film and stuff, but there are real people out there, and that's why I think it's so scary. You know, unfortunately there are still people out there is the dark web, where these kinds of things are happening. And I don't think there was anything I disliked about this film. I think it was the fact of how disturbing and how true it was, and how it really worked with human nature. Do you know what I mean? The fact that we're so desperate as people to find validation that we will do whatever it takes to get that validation, to get those likes and to get those subscribers. It's scary. It's really, really scary. That was basically like my thoughts and feelings on Spree. I didn't necessarily want to tell you about everything that was involved in this film, just because I think it's pretty obvious from the picture and from the synopsis on Netflix what it's about. Also, I think there's a trailer on there as well, so you can kind of understand what the situation is. So I don't think I've necessarily spoiled a horrendous amount for you. I would fully recommend watching it. I really would. If you're new to YouTube and you're new to making YouTube videos or starting out on your YouTube journey, it might hit a nerve. It really, really, really hit a nerve with me personally. And it was because growing your channel is really, really hard at the best of times. Like, I am so blessed and feel so blessed that I've hit 107 subscribers in three months. You know, I never thought that would be a possibility, and I hope that my channel grows. I really, really do. But it's so hard and so degrading when you know that you're putting out really poignant content, amazing content, and then you see like a TikTok or you see a video or you saw a Vine that was just so either unfunny, it had no context, it had no story behind it, or it had no thought behind it, and that is getting more attention than your video that's got a lot of thought in it, and it really, really messes you up. Also, the idea of, you know, kind of asking for help and kind of putting yourself out there. So doing all this research into how to grow my channel, I've been looking at the do's and don'ts, and one of the biggest don'ts is don't be that person that goes on more well-known YouTubers' channels and just comments sub for sub, like for like. That is honestly the worst thing you can do. And the fact that Kurt pulls this at one point in the movie is it's so horrifyingly cringy, but it's so sad at the same time how desperate he is for that validation and for those views, and the fact that people will go as far as possible to get bots to do the like for like, the sub for sub, and just completely spam out more well-known YouTubers accounts. So that was a thing that really hit with me, and I think it does just, it's really poignant about the anxiety you feel as a new YouTuber. And I feel it, I really feel it. Like, I feel so dirty now saying, don't forget to like and subscribe, but at the end of this video, I am going to say it because it's a reminder to like and subscribe to my channel, which now sounds really, really dirty to me, and I feel horrible saying it, but it's just a thing you gotta do, you know, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. I honestly, I don't know where my head's going with it. All in all, I know for a fact that Spree was a very fantastic film. If you are new to YouTube, then I would definitely recommend going to watch it. If you're not and you'd like to see what it's kind of like with all those frustrations as a new YouTuber, I also recommend you going to see it. Also, if you're a YouTuber that's been going for years and you are still in double figures, I would also recommend you going to watch it, because I really don't want you pulling a Kurt. We are going to make that thing. Don't pull a Kurt. Oh gosh, what has my life become? Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching. I feel so dirty with this. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys want more reviews, if you want unboxings, if you want all the spooky things, all the ghost stories, Marvel reviews, TV show reviews, mainly horror reviews, I am here for you. I am vibing that. Please follow me along with that. Please make sure you like and subscribe if you liked this video. I really appreciate it. Oh, that was so hard. I hope you've had a good day, guys. If not, that's okay. Always remember, tomorrow's a new day. See you later, guys. Bye.